Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to my channel. It is a gloomy day today, but we're gonna power through and I'm going to deliver you an amazing Real Housewives of New York City review. Let's start with the cliff notes for the beginning of this week's episode. So Jacques is back in the picture. He met up with Luann for a lunch. Side note, Jacques is engaged now, so him and Luann will not be getting back together. But all during this lunch, Luann keeps hinting and talking about the idea of whether or not she wants to start drinking again. I know that she has been tempted in the past episodes of wanting to get back on that horse, but now it just seems like it's becoming more and more of the better option for her. And Jacques really doesn't help matters because he tells her that one glass of red wine is okay, to which then Luann asks, well, what about two? I don't know. I just find it to be a very slippery slope. So let me just ask you guys this. Do you think Luann is going to start drinking again? We will have to wait and see later on in this week's episode what is going to happen. And I find it really funny that Luann will literally take any chance that she can get to play Feelin' Giovanni.
Oh my God, hold on. I can't believe you haven't heard Feelin' Giovanni. Feelin' Giovanni. Feelin' Giovanni.
Now who's Giovanni?
It is such a good song. I will give her that. It's so good and it's so catchy. Feelin' Giovanni, feelin' Giovanni. Luann, I would like some royalties for me singing a little ditty of that for everyone. Thank you. So the ladies all go for lunch. Sonia is on a liquid fast. So what that means is she is only eating liquids, soups, teas, and the occasional snack bar or an olive. So like she has the shakes. She's not doing very well. She is very hungry. And that just sounds horrific. Like I would never go on a liquid fast. Hard pass, I'm good. And Dorinda needs to stop blowing smoke up Sonia's ass, saying, oh my gosh, Sonia, your runway show was amazing. Your fashion show was amazing. That is a lie. That fashion show was not amazing. Let's just stop trying to coddle Sonia. And I really do love that we are seeing so much more of Elise. Elise is Sonia's friend, and Elise is the new friend of the Housewives this season. And we finally get to see Elise's interview look. I'm so excited. And I want Elise to really give me more. She just kind of seems to be sitting on the sidelines, not really saying much, not really doing much. Also during this lunch, the ladies keep actively discussing Luann's drinking. And Elise is then questioning, like, what is Luann's long-term goal? Is she drinking? Is she not gonna drink? Like, what's her long-term goal at the end of this? And Ramona keeps saying that, Luann is just taking it day by day, and today she's, not drinking, and if she wants to start drinking again, she's a big girl and she can make her own decisions. I will get into my feelings about Luann drinking and wanting to drink again later on in this review, but until then, let's just continue with this Housewives review. Tinsley and her mom met up for a lunch, and we find out that Tinsley dated Bruce only because he was from Chicago. Tinsley, what are you doing? I'm rooting for you. We were all rooting for you.
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you?
She dated him just to spite Scott because Scott was from Chicago, Bruce was from Chicago, and she did it just for the hopes that she may run into Scott and Scott would find out. And then we go into finding out more about the business end of Sonia by Sonia Morgan. So Sonia is not making any money off of the Sonia by Sonia Morgan line. I will say it was recently picked up by Century 21. It's on their website. I did the research. You can buy it there. It is only available in one Century 21 store in New York City. So can't really be making that much money. So last year, her brand lost $5,000. The following year, it made $0. And the year after that, in 2017, it lost money. She was told that the line is only selling between 300 and 500 pieces. So no one is buying her collection in bulk, which is a problem. Sonja Morgan is losing money off of this line. And it really doesn't help matters that her business is run out of someone's home in New Jersey. And I've said this last week, she needs to hire professionals. These people that are running her business are not professionals. Sonja Morgan, I am talking to you right now. Please hire a professional public relations branding firm to represent you and sell your products. The people you have right now do not know what they're doing. This has been my TED Talk. Thank you very much. So on the way to Luann's event this episode, Leah has a very touching moment with Ramona in the car. So we still find out that Leah is not speaking to her mom, the other way around. Leah's mom is not speaking to her because Leah is drinking. So Leah is very hurt by this because she thinks that her mom is judging her based on her failures, where she wants her mom to be judging her based on her successes. But Ramona says that she thinks that Leah's mom is thinking, oh my God, Leah's drinking again. She's going to mess up her whole life, which I get it. Like, I understand exactly where Ramona's coming from. I understand exactly where Leah's mom's coming from. Like, Leah has not drank in 9 years because the last time she drank, she assaulted a police officer. And then the police officer knocked her teeth out and she ended up in jail, losing everything. So, I mean, I kinda can understand why her mom is a little bit of an issue with Leah drinking again. Like, Leah is not a good drinker. She doesn't handle alcohol very well.
Leah stopped drinking for a while.
So Ramona says that she needs to stop communicating via text. So Leah has been communicating via text message to her mom regarding this whole debacle. Ramona says that she needs to face it head on, go to her mom's home, bring her favorite type of flowers, talk it out, hash it out, move on. Ramona's not wrong. Ramona does some stupid shit and doesn't really have a filter and will say whatever's on her mind, but I agree with Ramona. Leah, you have got to just pick up the phone, call your mom, go over to her home, and just hash it out. Like, just talk about it. So now, let's talk about Luann's event. It is hosted by, let me see here, Chanel in the City podcast.
But I really don't have time to watch or listen. I guess, right, you don't watch a podcast, you listen, see? But they're gained major in popularity.
And it is a fundraiser, I think, for bullying and for women in prison. And while they're at the event, Dorinda thought it would be a great idea to set up a lunch with Tinsley and have Leah as the mediator because she thinks that Leah has access to Tinsley in a different capacity than the other ladies do, which I get it. I think Tinsley is very comfortable with Leah because Leah doesn't really judge her like the other ladies judge her. Like, the other ladies are extremely harsh with Tinsley. So like I said, this event is raising money for bullying and women in prison, and it's also a comedy event, so it's a hodgepodge of various different emotions. But I find it funny that it's for bullying, but all of the ladies bully each other, even though they say that they don't.
Have you ever bullied anyone?
Bullied anyone? Bullied means to, like...
You can tell me the truth, huh?
What address did I tell you to go to? Can you...
143 something?
114. Don't you think you should have written it down so you remember, so you don't have to ask me again? Well, I don't know. At least I have friends. You have no friends. Who are your friends? You have nobody in your life. Right now you have Jason. You'll probably mess that up too. You look old for your age. You're older. I do not.
You look old
right
for your age, and
That's how it stands.
You are a bitch.
What did I say that was so mean?
No, I don't think so.
Have you bullied anyone?
No.
You know what? Why don't you stop getting vaginal rejuvenation and put an easy path on that vagina with your Holland tunnel?
You're a lady. You just broke your glass in front of me.
Oh, I did get a mugshot over it.
Really?
I did, really.
Kindergarten starts. You're gonna be late for the bus. Oh my God, kindergarten's starting in 6 minutes. You're gonna be late for the bus. Okay, you get going. Kindergarten's starting.
Dorinda says that she was the person in school that used to fight the bullies.
I actually am the person in the playground that used to fight the bullies.
I don't believe that. But I am glad during this event, Leah and Sonia have moved past the cashmere lounge set incident from last week.
Is it possible that I misread the weird shady she was doing with me? Maybe. Probably not. But it's not like she my man. She sent me pajamas. I can get over that.
And now we're getting back into Luann's drinking. So the ladies keep telling Luann that she's not an alcoholic, and it was more about the issues that she had with Tom that led her to drink. Here are my thoughts about that. I do think Luann's an alcoholic. I think she's a functioning alcoholic. I don't think Luann needs a drink first thing in the morning to get through a day. I think that Luann has a drinking problem and alcohol is not for her. She drinks to excess. She doesn't know how to have just one glass of wine, one cocktail at dinner. It's either all or nothing. And I think by Luann wanting to drink again, it's a very, very, very dangerous, slippery slope. And that's all I have to say about that. And then Luann drinks vodka.
This is more. No, honey, it's all vodka.
That's right, she picks up a glass and she drinks straight vodka. So Luann is drinking again. And Elise kept asking, like, Luann, what are you drinking? And Luann nonchalantly is like,
I'm drinking vodka.
And Luann's excuse to it is, whatever, I'm off probation now.
Luann.
But Elise really does have a problem that Luann is drinking vodka. Luann is deciding to drink again. And Dorinda's getting very upset about it. She's like, stay out of it, Elise. This has nothing to do with you. She's allowed to drink. She can do what she wants, because Dorinda is crawling right up Luann's asshole so they don't have another spat like they did last season. So Dorinda has just made her cozied up right in Luann's asshole. She has a whole suite in Luann's ass. And I'm going to side with Elise. Luann, you shouldn't be drinking. You went to AA. What are you doing? It's a slippery slope. And Dorinda keeps saying, like, Elise, you're not the judge and the jury. Elise, yes, you are. Keep doing it. So this event was put on by Chanel in the City. Luann was the co-host, and Jacques did comedy. And spoiler alert, he is not funny. No one could understand him.
I don't understand a word Jacques said.
And like, there was literally so much happening at this event. Women in prison, bullying, comedy, like, what? But the real winner of this event was the way that Luann introduced Jacques.
And I want to set the record straight with you guys, okay? I never a pirate, so please welcome to the stage,
And then the night ended with somehow us going back in time to the premiere, because the issues between Dorinda and Tinsley have been drudged back up because Dorinda wants to go to lunch with Tinsley. I thought that they cleared up their issues, so I don't understand what this lunch is needed for. I thought that they worked it out. Apparently they did not. So this whole thing started because Leah said that Leah is intimidated by Dorinda. She thinks that Dorinda is very intimidating. Dorinda, in her tequila state of mind, took that as Tinsley thinks I'm intimidating.
You're a little intimidating. What? You're a little intimidating. What's going on? Dorinda. Yeah, you are. Really? Oh, absolutely. We're going. I know where we're going. Excuse me, miss.
About what? She said you're intimidated by me.
No, I didn't. I said it's exact words. I said you're intimidating.
Dorinda, tequila, no bueno, baby.
That's not what Leah said. Like, that's not what Leah said at all. And let's just say, Dorinda and alcohol, any type of alcohol, do not mix well. Like Luann told Dorinda, you're turning. She does. She turns. You know exactly when you're gonna start getting mean Dorinda, and that's what happened. Like, I just don't understand why Dorinda is getting so upset, especially when they're at an anti-bullying event, and that's all I'll say. Make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel, give this video a big thumbs up, and hit the bell icon to get notified when new videos are posted. I will be back next week for another Real Housewives of New York City review. Thanks so much, guys. Have a good one. Bye.